The drama opens up with a group of schoolgirls gossiping about rumors regarding a magical theme park. One of the girls mentions that she heard about a good-looking but eccentric magician at the park who can perform real magic. As they chat, some mysterious magic starts affecting the school. Students in the hallways suddenly start dancing and singing, creating an impressive spectacle even though there's no apparent reason for it. The scene then shifts to a girl named Ah Yi, who is running late for school. On her way, she accidentally collides with a random boy on the stairs, which causes her to fall and hurt her knee. To make things worse, the boy doesn't even say sorry and quickly leaves the scene. However, another boy arrives and offers her help. He hands Ah Yi her bag and helps her get back on her feet. Adding to Ah Yi's bad day, the school's dean is now their homeroom teacher, and he's not pleased with her tardiness. During attendance, Ah Yi enters the classroom but receives a scolding from the teacher. However, when another student named Il Dung, who is the top student in the school, arrives late as well, the teacher changes his tone. He is the same one who helped Ah Yi earlier. The teacher praises Il Dung for his achievements and lets him take a seat, mentioning that Ah Yi is lucky to have Il Dung arrive late. The teacher allows her to sit down too. After Ah Yi finally takes her seat, she quickly sends a message to her mother, informing her that she's arrived at school but was late for her first class. During the lunch break, all the students head to the cafeteria to grab some food. Ah Yi fills her plate with food and then discreetly takes out a Tupperware container to save some of the food for later. This action indicates that Ah Yi's family might not have much money, and she's trying to make the most of her school-provided meals. Unfortunately, one of her classmates, Kim So-hae, purposely bumps into her, causing the food on her tray to spill. Despite this, So-hae casually apologizes and walks away. Innocent Ah Yi doesn't say a word and starts putting the spilled food back into her container. After school, as Ah Yi heads home, she sees a convenience store looking for a part-time worker. Without hesitating, she takes the job and starts working there. While cleaning a table, she spots a half-eaten burger and considers eating it, but before she can, her boss shows up, and she quickly throws the food in the trash. Her boss seems suspicious and tells her to dispose of it in a different trash can. Later in the evening, Ah Yi finishes her work and her boss pays her 50,000 won for the day. Seeing that Ah Yi really needs a part-time job, the boss offers her a permanent position. Happily, Ah Yi takes the money and leaves. On her way home, she thinks about what to buy for her sister. While pondering this, the money slips from her hand and falls. She tries to grab it, but it keeps slipping away, leading her to an old and abandoned amusement park. Desperate to get her money, Ah Yi opens the park's gate and enters to retrieve it. To her shock, the money suddenly flies towards a person standing in the dark. That person turns out to be the magician, Li Wul, whom the girls were talking about in the beginning of the drama. He approaches Ah Yi and asks if she believes in magic. Scared, Ah Yi screams and runs out of the amusement park to her home. At her house, her little sister Ula is waiting for her. Ah Yi gives her the lunchbox and goes to the kitchen to prepare some food. Sadly, she searches the kitchen but can't find anything to cook. Right then, her understanding sister tells her that she's not hungry and is going to sleep. During this time, Ah Yi finds an invitation card in her pocket. Before she can figure out where it came from, her landlady calls her outside. The landlady scolds her for not paying the rent and insists she pays a month's rent within a week. The next day, Ah Yi goes to school wearing the same torn leggings from the day before. Her classmates, So-hae and Hana, notice this and assume that her family must be very poor since she can't even afford a new pair of leggings. Together, So-hae and Hana come up with a mean plan to make fun of Ah Yi's financial situation. Later during recess, when everyone is out of the classroom, Ah Yi enters and finds 50,000 won on the floor near her desk. She picks it up, and just as she does, Il Dung arrives. So-hae and Hana also enter the room and start talking about So-hae's missing money. They ask Il Dung about it, and he says he has no idea where it is. During this time, afraid, Ah Yi speaks to herself, mentioning that she didn't steal the money from anyone. She found it on the floor. After this, So-hae walks away, saying that since the money's gone, she'll consider it a charitable donation. The scene then shifts to the middle of the night when Ah Yi decides to go to the amusement park to retrieve her money. There, she meets Lee Wool and asks him to give her back her money. In return, the magician shows her some magic tricks and offers her 2 50,000 won notes, but then turns them into paper, scaring her. Annoyed by the earlier incident at school, Yi takes one 50,000 won note and runs away. The following day, Yi is confused about whether what she saw the previous night was real or just a dream. While thinking deeply about it, she closes her eyes and sleeps on the desk. Il-dung arrives at her desk at the same time and keeps looking at her. It's clear that he likes her but is afraid to confess. Suddenly, Yi wakes up and notices Il-dung. To make an excuse, he pretends to have trouble with math and requests Yi to teach him. In the next scene, after finishing her shift at work, Yi's boss gives her some food for the night. Seizing the opportunity, she confides in him about her situation and asks for an advance on her salary to pay the rent. Initially, the boss refuses, but after some thought, he eventually gives her the money. However, as he hands over the money, he gets too close to Yi and starts touching her inappropriately. Helpless, Yi calls for help, and Lee Wool comes to her rescue. He punches the boss and uses his magical powers to make him disappear. The next day, Yi goes to her workplace, but it's closed. Despite this, she leaves the money her boss gave her and returns home. Later at school, Yi hears some girls talking about a magician living in the closed amusement park. They believe that everything he does is real. At that moment, Yi sees the magician standing outside her school, waving at her. Yi visits the amusement park and talks to Lee Wool. She asks how he made her boss disappear, and he says he doesn't know. Yi suggests that Lee Wool should grow up and find a job instead of focusing on magic. She also mentions that he's selfish like his father, who only thinks about himself and never came home after his company went bankrupt. As Yi proceeds to leave, the lights at the amusement park suddenly turn on, surprising her. The next morning, Yi is sitting on a bench outside the school, pondering whether the incident at the amusement park was real or a dream. Right then, Il-dung arrives and sits next to her, telling her that he doesn't believe in magic and even explains why. Suddenly, Yi is startled to find Il-dung beside her and asks if he was talking to her. In response, Il-dung changes the topic and suggests they go back to the classroom. Next, Yi notices Il-dung throwing away one of his books as he leaves for home. After he departs, Yi sneaks over to the trash can, retrieves the book, and tears the page that contained Il-dung's name before taking it with her. Later, Yi goes to the store where she used to work and finds a new part-time worker there. She asks about her boss, but the storekeeper has no information about his whereabouts. Afterward, Yi visits the amusement park, hoping to meet Lee Wool. To her surprise, she encounters Lee Wool's parrot instead. The parrot unexpectedly tells her that her boss wasn't a good person, and it's a good thing he's gone. This startles Yi, and she leaves the park in fear. Unfortunately, the two mean girls, Sohye and Hana, are at the park making videos, and they notice Yi leaving. They become curious about why she was there. When Yi returns home and meets her sister, she's shocked to find Lee Wool standing behind her. Yi accuses him of following her from the amusement park, and Lee Wool nods in agreement. To lighten the mood, he shows off some magical tricks, like producing eggs from a fake chicken and giving them to Yi's little sister. However, the situation takes a darker turn when a group of businessmen arrives. They demand that Yi repay a loan and ask about the whereabouts of her father. Yi tells them that she doesn't know, but they don't believe her and begin to physically assault her. Fortunately, Lee Wool intervenes in time and performs a magical act, making fake money notes fall from the sky. This distraction causes the businessmen to pause in their attack and collect the notes. When they eventually realize the money is fake, they turn their aggression on Lee Wool, beating him up. Eventually, they issue threats to Yi about returning the money promptly and then leave. After this ordeal, Yi cares for Lee Wool's injuries and asks if he's okay. He expresses his desire to teach her some magic tricks, but Yi, feeling uneasy, declines to learn magic and meet him again. The following day, Il-dung notices his book with Yi, the one he threw away in the trash can the previous day. He realizes that Yi may be going through a tough time financially if she's looking for books in the trash. This convinces him to help her in any way he can. He then takes out all his reference books and puts them on a desk between him and Yi. When Yi asks if she can borrow one, Il-dung refuses but suggests they go to the library together to study. Yi happily agrees, and Il-dung turns to the other side, smiling. At the same time, So-hye and Hana open their mobile cameras and talk about going to the amusement park to find out the truth about the hidden magician. They're doing this to provoke Yi because they noticed her there the other day. In the next scene, So-hye and Hana are inside the amusement park looking for Lee-woo. They see his parrot and start playing with it. Lee-woo appears and asks them why they've come. The girls demand that he perform some magic tricks, and he agrees to do so. Before they leave, he asks them to send Yi to the amusement park. The next day at school, So-hye and Hana talk to Il-dung and suggest that there might be a connection between the amusement park magician and Yi. Il-dung doesn't believe them and advises them to keep quiet. However, the girls wonder if Yi visits Lee-woo for either money or love. Just then, Yi enters the classroom, and So-hye suggests she go to the amusement park because the magician is eagerly waiting for her. Next, the scene shifts to the amusement park, where Yi confronts Lee-woo about his actions. In response, Lee-woo confesses that he likes her and shows her a phone. He also says he can make all her wishes come true. Yi grabs her phone from him and is surprised to see that all the messages she sent to her mom have been delivered. Unbeknownst to them, Il-dung is hiding in the amusement park, keeping an eye on them. Later that night, Yi is seen crying while thinking about her mother. It's revealed that her mother didn't pass away, but actually left the family after their father's business went bankrupt. Since then, Yi started believing that she didn't have a mother to ease her pain. The next day, So-hye approaches Il-dung and shows him the video of Lee-woo asking them to send Yi to the amusement park. After seeing this, Il-dung advises So-hye to stay away from Yi and walks out of the room, leaving her puzzled. Outside, he meets with Yi and asks her if she wants to earn money by deliberately scoring low marks in the math exam. He suggests this would allow him to be the top scorer in all subjects. Shocked, Yi asks him why he's proposing this. In reply, Il-dung mentions that he will also offer her a lot of money for doing it. He then gives her some time to think and walks away.